So the thing that really rocked my world and my whole family's was when I was actually 10 years old. My parents were driving through an intersection and a lady ran a red light going about 60 miles an hour and just T-boned my parents. That one split second radically transformed my entire childhood. Within a matter of weeks, my dad was on his deathbed from infections and multiple operations. In fact, he actually passed away at one point, but by Lord's grace and great medical care, they were able to revive him. But that began a very long, difficult journey in our household where we basically started to lose everything, to be honest. My dad's income went away. The cracks in my parents' marriage turned into gorges. That led to, honestly, a real shaking of just, my understanding of where I fit in the world, because that whole accident led to financial hardship, relational hardship, and eventually my parents ended up divorcing. And come high school, I was actually essentially raising myself in many ways because my mom was off working all the time and my dad was no longer in the household. As a way to cope with just all of the turmoil in my life of, a disabled father and a mother who's outside the home working all the time, and just the disorientation of all of that, I just threw myself into sports. And in fact, I've been gifted athletically, and so I played soccer every single day, whether it was with the team or just in the backyard or walking on the street juggling a ball. And threw myself into soccer in high school, ended up playing for a team. We won state, then had the opportunity to go to college on a soccer scholarship. And this was just my whole identity, it was my whole world. And I remember about midway through my sophomore year, I was in the series of making a number of decisions that really just contradicted the value system that I grew up with, and I knew were not pleasing to God. And I'd not abandoned God, I just drifted far from Him. And there was one night that I came home after a series of bad decisions over the course of a few days. And I remember just looking in the mirror and thinking to myself, like, what have I become? This is so far from the way that I was raised and what I know to be true. And as I was looking in the mirror, it was as if the Holy Spirit just reached into my heart in such a impactful way. And I just felt the weightiness and the conviction of my own sin in a way that I'd never felt before in my life. And I remember in that moment just falling on my knees and just weeping before the Lord. One, in my own iniquity and sin and just the way I'd grieved Him, but two, also just in gratitude of recognizing that even though I just stabbed Him in the back over and over and just trampled on His grace, He was right there just showing me love and grace and calling me into deeper relationship with Him. During my 8 years at Lakeview, I've had the opportunity to serve in multiple roles here. Each one of those has challenged and grown me in different ways. First served as part of our finance team, then was asked to serve as a deacon, and then recently to serve as one of the elders here at Lakeview. And I think the thing that excites me the most about Lakeview and just the opportunity here is, we're surrounded by multiple rooftops in the area, and there's really not that many churches in the area. And I know that a lot of those rooftops, there's marriages that need healing, children that need to know the Lord, addictions. And so I am very, very excited to be a part of what the Lord is doing here in the Eagle Mountain community, and specifically through this local church of Lakeview, to minister to these people and help them come to know the saving relationship through Jesus, but also the healing hand of Jesus here in this community. I am Ryan Coyner, and I am the church.